all CMA-Foundation students. Now, as a part of revision classes for management, I am here with lecture number 6. Lecture number 5. Until now, we finished 5 lectures. Now we are going to take up lecture number empty page. You must be seeing it now. You must be thinking what this fellow is going to do with an empty. I'm going to write some notes here because I wanted to tell you exactly what is important for the examination, and these notes will be posted to you. Don't worry, institute people will post it to you. You don't have to worry. But I'm going to discuss from your textbook, and from the textbook I'll make notes in front of you so that you will understand exactly in future or for any theory subjects how exactly we can prepare a note. So that's what my objective. So basically I wanted to discuss today something organizational conflicts, boss. The whole class I'm going to finish this. So have patience for 1 hour. If in case in between you lost your patience, kindly take a pause and start listening. So I'm going to juggle between 3 important pages: the material, the running notes, that means important points I'm going to make in front of you, and myself. Okay, you will be seeing me also alternatively. All right, now, so this chapter, this is the last chapter in your, syllabus is not over, don't worry, but I'm trying to figure out exactly what's going to be very important for your examination. So therefore I wanted to first cover up all the important concepts. So every lecture I'll try to pick up some important concept and finish it up so that it'll help you for examination on September 6th or 7th, whichever date you're actually writing examination. All right, shall we go ahead now? Be very active, because theory subjects may, when you start listening to theory subject, you must show such an activeness. I'm telling you, you should have an energy which will be sufficient to kill at least 10-15 people, like Telugu hero or so not Telugu hero, all South Indian movies, Tollywood, Mollywood, Collywood, Sandalwood, any wood you take, hero will kill 10-15 people, such an one punch. That amount of energy you have to show in theory sub, otherwise theory will kick you out of the syllabus itself. Okay, so we are talking about, we have an organization. In the organization, what kind of disputes may arise, what kind of differences may arise, what kind of discrepancies may arise, what kind of conflict, the fight. When I use the word, correct meaning of conflict is with difference of opinion. Manager says something, employee says something, employee says something, another employee says something. When people have difference of opinion, otherwise when people always keep fighting in terms of their roles, responsibilities, in terms of opinions they have difference, in terms of roles they have difference, in terms of responsibilities they have a lot of differences people develop when it comes to organization activities. That is basically called conflict. So this conflict is very dangerous. If conflict continues, what happens? People will not be able to, conflict means a dispute or a difference of opinion, dispute in terms of, otherwise you see, somebody says X is supposed to do, somebody says Y is supposed to do, X thinks that Y will come and do, so Y will not do, Y thinks that X will come and do, Y will not do. This kind of conflicts will normally happen. Just a second, yeah. These kind of conflicts normally happen in every company. So understand briefly from your examination. But let's see now what is the meaning. So I'll read the material here in front of you, and I'll make out some points which are very important in just 40 minutes. 40 minutes, I'm going to give you 3 marks guarantee. Okay. So this technique I'll tell you so that in the second year, when you are there in the second level, CMA Inter, it will help you a lot when you read the textbooks from institute textbook and make a notes. It will help you. Okay, conflicts is inevitable. Okay, 2 or more groups. So it's clearly says is here. Conflict can occur between 2 or more individuals, 2 or more groups, individual and individual, etc., etc. So I'm going to give you introduction. You can make a notes, or you can wait for the academy to give you notes. Anything is okay, but this notes what I'm making in front of you, I'll give you. So I'm making introduction. May conflict can happen. So first of all, they might ask you a question. Conflict can happen between whom? It can happen to people. It can happen between 2 groups, HR group, finance group. It can happen. It can happen between 1 person and 1 group. Like finance department, 1 fellow might fight with entire HR group. So in any company, there will be groups, there will be individuals. Disputes, differences, disagreements can happen between 2 people. It can happen between two groups. It can happen between one group and one individual, one individual. Anything is possible. Okay, everybody clear? That point is clear. Awesome. So when dealing with the conflict in an organization, it is important to address this issue. Very nice. Types of conflict that can occur in any organization include unclear definitions, etc. So I'm saying it is due to what? So your material is the solution for all your examination problem. It is due to, I'm writing here, it is due to, see how beautifully I'm going to make a point here. It is due to unclear definitions of roles and responsibilities. It is unclear, it is because of conflict of interest. It is because of lack of resources. It is because of interpersonal relationship within the workplace. Awesome. See how beautifully I made this here for you. Because this I'm doing it so that you will not, because theory subjects, when you are listening, what happens is if I go on talking, you will go on sleeping nicely. Instead, we have to hit exactly what is needed. That is very, very important, because any point of time, what is more important now is what is important for examination. So that is very important. So I repeat, conflict. So one question they can ask you: conflict can happen between two individuals. It can happen two groups. It can happen one individual, one group. It can happen. Finish one question. I finished. The next, it happens due to what? Why people have difference of opinion, why people have disagreements, why people have dispute, why people always keep having differences and disagreements and dispersions and deviations and distractions. Anything will happen in any company because they don't know what they're supposed to do. Because when I'm working in a company, manager did not tell me what is exactly my role. Everybody is coming and tell me do this, do this, do this. I'm like going mad in installment basis. The next thing is the conflict of interest. I'm expecting something. Conflict of interest and company interest is something I always wanted to maximize the welfare of my customers, but companies are cheat customers. Otherwise, company doesn't want people to cheat, but I always feel like cheating customers and charging more money. That means individual is thinking something, company is thinking, that is conflict of interest. Otherwise, one group is expecting something, one group is expecting. When we have different expectations, when we have different desires, when we have different expectations, obviously conflicts will happen. Sometimes conflicts will happen because resources are less, so everybody should share those resources. Let's say, for example, in a company, simple silly example I'm giving you. In any company, let's say there is only one like in college there is only one projector room. Everybody wanted to sit in that room, all faculty members wanted to use that room only. So obviously conflict. So one faculty will, sir, I need a projector today. That way, no, I'm 30 years in industry, I need this projector. Silly things, right? It's just because you don't have resources. We can't provide resources to everybody wanted that resource to be utilized. Simple logic, right? Interpersonal relation. People at workplace many a times will have lot of differences because they don't have proper relationship. I mean, they don't have a rapport. They don't have that connection. They don't have that bondage. They don't have that friendly nature. They don't have that supportive nature. They don't have that atmosphere of helping each other. They always feel jealous of each other. Understood now? When they always feel jealous of each other, this will happen, especially, right? Quickly. So let us not waste more time. So why conflicts happen? I gave you two questions. I gave one question, where conflicts happen, I gave you. Second question, how conflicts will happen, I gave you. Alright, dear? Yes. Meaning of the conflict. It says at workplace, people internalize the existence of conflict. Okay. Mr. Rahim defined conflict as a natural outcome of human interaction when in one individual, it says, definition of conflict I'm giving you was, wait, awesome, yes. Conflict is a, see, conflict is a, read that point, conflict is an outcome of human interaction. When human beings started interacting with each other, when one individual thinks that his goal, his attitude, his values, his beliefs are incongruent. That means I feel in the company my views are different, my goals are different, my attitude is different, my belief is different, all other people are tughlaks. Those people, Mr. Rahim is a great man here, because I'm telling you, I'm not telling you are a top or I'm a top. I'm telling you, it's a human behavior always. Having differences so when I feel my goal is not incongruent, my goal is not matching with others. My belief is not matching with others. My value is not believing them. I always believe when the teacher comes, I should stand in the class. Other student, what re? What re? Standing is important, or reading is important. One fellow will tell you. I mean to say, different. My goals are not matching with others. My attitude is not matching with others. My values are not matching with others. My beliefs are not matching with others. Then obviously the conflict arises. Very good. Quickly you have to move. Okay. So this incompatibility or incongruence can arise within the organization. It's we studied already. The probable types of, so directly I'm going to the exam. I'm hitting directly the examination. The next 40 minutes, what I'm going to give you will help you to score 3-4 marks. Types of conflict. Okay, shall we continue? Yeah, first one, unclear definition of responsibility, unclear definition of response. So you don't have to worry about the next theory here. You don't have to worry about the next theory here. You please worry about the main point here. So this point clearly tells us what here. My responsibility, your responsibility has no clarity. Management always tells us that all of you do this. So when what A is supposed to do, what B is supposed to do, what C is supposed to do, when there is no functional division, what who should do what is not divided properly by the company, then definitely everybody will try to do everything. Everybody will try to poke their hands in everybody's work. They will scratch others nicely, saying that this is mine, this is mine. This kind of confusion obviously creates conflict quickly. Yes, everybody clear? Next, to prevent this, basically what you're supposed to do, you should give duties clearly. Next one, conflict of interest. Conflict of interest. Okay, so in the conflict of interest, understanding how personal it is. See, you have some interest, company has some interest. Company wanted to achieve something, you wanted to achieve something. That department wanted to achieve something, you want to achieve something. When different individuals and different groups have got different interests, then definitely it happens. So you need to tell them very clearly who's interested first. Okay, that is one thing. Next one, inadequacy of resources. So next, name itself indicates when the resources are not there, definitely conflicts will start. Okay, see, it says competition of resource, including money, material, any of these things are not there, definitely. See, it's like any money is not sufficient, time is not sufficient, material is not sufficient. Understood? When these things are not actually sufficient, you will definitely have conflicts. Okay, next one, interpersonal relationship. Interpersonal relationship. What interpersonal relationship says? It says personalities of the people involved in organization culture. Often conflict is result of interpersonal. I'll tell you what correctly. It is not always easy to set aside personal prejudices. Personal prejudices, everybody has their own personal priorities here. Everybody has my person. Being a person, I have my priority. Being a person, you have your priority. When our priorities are not matching, when our desires are not matching, when our objectives are not matching, when our skills are not matching, when our intentions are not matching, definitely why will I recognize your priority, man? In MNCs, what happens? They will impose a rule saying that, hey, you shut your mouth, idiot. Whether you like or dislike, everybody's priority is this only. It is common to have conflicts in any organization. So simply one general question, try to understand this here. One general question: conflicts happen because responsibilities are not segregated properly. So what is the solution for it? You should tell everyone, Mr. A, this is your responsibility. Mr. B, this is your. Mr. C, you don't try to do everything what you're not supposed to do. Monkey bolke, you should tell him. Interest in the sense, my objective is different, your objective is different, what I want to achieve is different, what you want to achieve is different. So there should be a common interest, no, for everybody. Company should say, boss, irrespective of whether you belong to this department, this floor, this function, that function, whatever it is, we are here to achieve the common goal of the company. Okay. Many a times people fight because existing resources are supposed to be utilized by everybody. When existing resources are obviously scarce, it's going to be very difficult. They keep fighting for the existing resources sharing. Interpersonal relationship is understanding each other, having a relationship, having a bonding. Because when you don't understand others' priority, you have different priorities. When you have different priorities, definitely you will have conflict. Conflict is a difference of opinion. Conflict is a dispute. Conflict is a disagreement. This agreement happens due to four important. That is one question. Due to four important things that is already covered. This is one. I have no idea as to what is my responsibility. Next one, my interest is different, your interest is different, no resources. Third one, fourth one, interpersonal relations are very bad. That is one thing. So straight to the examination point I'm taking you guys. I hope you are enjoying this. Next one, causes for conflict. Directly go for causes for conflicts. Okay, what are the causes? First one, managerial expectations. In this, I will try to give you two, three bullet points. Wait a second. Causes for conflicts. Alright, yes. So under that I have first one, managerial expectations. Thoda dhyan se put your heart and soul, I'm telling you, you will crack this just like that. Managerial expectations. It is the job of an employee to meet the expectations of his manager. But if those expectations are misunderstood, then conflict arises. Okay? So basically what we say, if expectations are misunderstood. If expectations are misunderstood, there will be conflict. Next, managers need to spend time clearly communicating this. So managers must communicate their goals clearly to the employees. Therefore, managers must communicate their goals clearly. Managers must communicate their goals clearly to the employees. Okay. Next one, it says, and confirming those goals. Managers should also encourage employees to ask questions. Managers should encourage employees to ask questions. They should also encourage whom? Employees to ask questions, if in case there are any problems. See here, dear. So many a times we will have conflicts because of, see, your life is made very simple by me now. Why in any organization conflicts will arise? In any organization conflicts will arise because managers are expecting something from every employee, and those expectations of the managers have not been understood properly. Employees have understood something different, managers understood something different. So whenever this conflict, if you want to arise, so in the examination they will also tell you, if there are conflicts related to managerial expectations, what would be the solution? They can ask you in the question, right? So what the managers are, so since there is a misunderstanding of what managers are expecting from every employee, managers are supposed to communicate their goals to employees very. How do you communicate? Have frequent meetings every week, once in a week. If a manager holds meetings with the employees, then manager would be in a position to disclose and communicate what exactly they are expecting, right? So if in case in the meeting, if you only like one side track, if you go on talking but you're not letting employees to give their opinions and questions, then gone. So there will be misunderstanding between managers and employees. Because of this misunderstanding between managers and employees, very often times there will be conflicts. Okay, if you want, how do you? So you must communicate them, holding meetings, etc., etc. That's what you must encourage. Understood quickly? Yes, you're good boys, man, and girls also. So next one is understand one by one, breakdown in communication. Many a times what a breakdown may from points. If department requires information from another department in order to get the job, second department does not respond, etc., etc., conflict arises. So first point is what? If one department is not giving information to other department, then conflict arises. Okay, everybody clear? Look at the material. Okay, some interdependent. One second, please. If one department wants information, that department is not giving information, definitely there is a disagreement. Okay, so this is a non-responsive attitude. See, non-responsive attitude that can quickly become internal conflict. That is one thing. Another way of creating this conflict, sorting this, etc., etc. When people or departments late in responding, they are withholding information. It is best to address the situation immediately. In such cases, complain immediately. Because instead of dragging the issue, you must always complain immediately. Instead of dragging the issue, you must always complain immediately. What is my second point? Second point is very clear. So quickly, because you need to understand so quickly. First of all, overall niti, moral of the story is what? One department is not giving information, or is not giving full information, or is delaying in giving information which is required by other department. HR department goes and asks finance department, Anna, I want some information. Anna says, no, I will not give you, come tomorrow. Like government employees will say, no, come tomorrow, come tomorrow. These monkeys will go on saying, come tomorrow, as if they are doing very important functions. That is why India is backward for the next 100 years, not forward. Because of this, the same thing happens. If obviously people will start becoming so annoyed, so furious, and they think, what this fellow we want. So because if you don't get information from one department, you will not be able to take a decision. You will not be able to carry out your activity. So you will face problems. Okay, that is one thing. So causes may expectations are misunderstood. Communication is not passing. See here. Your material thoda it looks like lump, so isko break karna hai. You need to break it. Okay, misunderstanding information. First of all, not giving information is one thing, and misunderstanding information is also one thing. Look at this. According to Benjamin, internal conflict sometimes arise due to misunderstanding. One point. See, I'll tell you exactly. So here I'm writing due to misunderstanding. One thing, yes, focus on the material. Next, in order to deal with this situation, best to have a person admit, it's better to admit her misunderstanding. So in such case we will write, in such case it is better to admit misunderstanding. Yes, maybe he or she. Then taking responsibility for a mistake is very, and take responsibility for a mistake is one thing. So first point I'm trying to tell you what is the main cause. Okay, second point I'm trying to tell you what to do. So if in case there is a misunderstanding, suppose I explained something to you, you did not understand in a way that I explained. Maybe it depends on your background, it depends on how you are listening to my class, it depends on whether you are interested in listening to whether you hate this subject. There are so many circumstances, or you don't have proper laptop, you are listening on an Android phone which is not visible. Facebook photos will be visible, WhatsApp messages will be visible, but classes amma, they will not be visible. It depends on your state of mind, right? If in case any point of time, if you are seriously trying to understand the lecture and you are having any misunderstanding, there's nothing wrong in asking, saying that, sir, I have a query. Simple. Understood. So, and moreover, when you have this misunderstanding, first of all, you need to accept the mistake. If you don't accept a mistake that you did not understand, you are actually creating problem not only for you, for the organization as well. First one, managerial expectations. Second one, breakdown in communication. Third one, understanding. See how simply I finished? Yes, we are awesome, man. Lack of accountability. Let's see what is this. Organizational conflict might arise because of frustration. One source of frustration is the lack of accountability. So you can say here, if something has gone wrong and no one is willing to take responsibility for the problem, lack of accountability. It's like, this is the main point. No one is taking responsibility. It leads to lack of accountability. It leads to lack of accountability. All right. Next one, one way to combat this is basically to have anyone who comes into contact with the document signs his name and include the date, etc. So therefore, you need to record. The best way is to record the problem so that we will make him or her responsible. In the sense, when something goes wrong, nobody will agree. Suppose if there's a mistake in the organization, do you think everybody will come forward and say, yes I did, yes I did? Will they say? No, no. So lack of accountability in the sense, if something has gone wrong, nobody is ready to take up the responsibility. Suppose product is defective. If the product is defective, then I say, hey, Mr. Y, who did this, man? Why did you make him? Sir, I did not do, sir. He did, sir. Then I will go and ask, sir, Arey, who did this? Ray? Sir, I did not, sir. She did, sir. Sir, I did not do, sir. This fellow did, sir. That fellow did. In the organization, blame game starts. When I say lack of accountability, when there is any wrong things are happening, any defects are happening in the company, nobody would come forward to take the responsibility or accountability. Thereby, conflicts will start. They start blaming each other. Understood now? Awesome points I gave you. What are the causes for conflict? Number one, managers' expectations are not understood properly. So, therefore, managers are supposed to communicate their expectations to employees so that there will not be any misunderstanding. Then sometimes one department would expect a communication or information from the other department, and if they delay in giving information or not giving information, that would definitely relate it to conflict. Next one, information received also sometimes misunderstood. If in case you did not understand the information that is given to you, that means you have not received it as it is. So therefore you need to immediately bring it to the notice of a person saying that, sir, you said something but I did not understand. If you had said something that I did not understand, definitely things will be solved. Next one, when the problem happens, when product is defective, when customer is unhappy, everybody will start blaming, I did not do. Instead, if in case anybody, suppose you have done something, you recorded, then tomorrow if there is a mistake, we will know who did that, then we will know exactly who recorded it, then we will blame that fellow, right? That is what. So because of these things, mistakes will be conflicts will be common. Very good. So I gave you what are the causes: managerial expectations, communication is not proper, there is a misunderstanding of information, and nobody is actually ready to take the responsibility when something bad happened in any department. All right. Awesome. Now let's move on to the fifth concept in your lesson, that is ways to manage. So I'm writing here methods to manage conflicts in organization. Methods to manage conflicts in organization. Awesome. Yes. Let's see now. What are the various methods to manage conflicts in the organization? So it's easy. I'm not saying you will. There is no company in which there are no what you call disputes here, because small company, big company, small organization, big organization, foreign company, Indian company तो थोड़ा ज़्यादा रहेगा. In Indian company you will have more conflicts. In some companies, when the management is very strict and management has got systems in place, management has got proper order, procedure, methods in place, definitely conflicts can be minimized. But so you cannot avoid conflicts. We only have to try our level best to avoid because if conflicts continue, productivity decreases, production decreases, quality decreases, company goodwill decreases, company will become like a ladies club only, right? If everybody is fighting with each other, like in normal ordinary areas, women will go and fetch the water, no, standing in queues, how they shout, like nice music we can form. So that kind of a situation will be created. So you should find out a solution. So how to actually avoid? Managers must think about following things. Look at the material now. Awesome. First one, positive perspective. For everything, one keyword I'll give you so that you will have clarity. What is this positive perspective? To accept a conflict as a natural growth process that influences the company. First of all, accept the conflict. Constructive conflict. So accept conflict first of all. You should understand there is a conflict. That's what. Okay. Accept conflict positively. Conflict can be an asset also. So here one more thing. Conflict can be an asset also. If it is, it can help organization to learn mistakes. It can help learn from its mistake. Okay. Yes. Then innovation can be inspired from creative solutions. See dear, accept conflict, and it helps learning from it. That means when there are conflicts, what does it mean? When there are conflicts, what does it mean? There are difference of opinion. One fellow says, no, not like this, not like this, not like this. So if you take them positively in a small organizations, handle them properly. Because see, why do you think always so and so X? Sometimes it happens when in the classroom, some teachers will always focus on one particular girl or one particular boy, saying that whatever he or she said is correct. No, why sometimes last bench fellow also can be good. Sometimes first bench fellow who always acts like listening but sleeping, that fellow also will have a better idea. You need to accept it. You need to accept and see what that fellow is saying, and that fellow is saying sometimes can be constructive, can be technically good, can be valid point. If you continue ignoring that fellow's point when he actually raises a conflict, you will actually lose a good knowledge, right? So you need to have a positive perspective and try to find out if there are any solutions. And any difference of opinion, any difference agreement, if it is going to be useful, you can definitely use it. Okay, that is one thing. Second important thing you see. Yes, I hope you're doing well till now so far. The next important thing is grievance procedure. Grievance procedure solution. When there's a conflict, you must provide grievance. Let's see. Creation of formal grievance procedure. Okay. Creation of formal grievance procedure. Let employees at all levels know that their voices. Let employees know that their voices are heard. This is the main point. Okay, I mean, if they have any complaints, company is ready. Okay, the company culture is sufficiently friendly towards so and so. Company culture should be friendly. That's all. These 2 points, if you could see, I understand one very important thing. Grievance procedure in the sense, if in case there are difference of opinions, if in case there are complaints, if in case there are disagreements, disapprovals, etc., let them see. We should have a mechanism where every employee will be allowed to say what he had to say. If you don't give an option to an employee, in a class if a teacher does not allow student to speak first, then teacher will think always whatever teacher thinks is correct. Sometimes student might be thinking better than a teacher. So first of all, I should let students to say something. Same thing here, managers must allow employees to say something if in case they have any issues. And that friendly atmosphere, if you always create a bossism where so much of employees always afraid when you see managers, top level managers, that kind of a picture if you create, what happens is you will not be able to have a friendly atmosphere in the company. So therefore, you always have to set up you should receive complaints. You should friendly accept all those things. Then you will understand exactly what is the best solution to provide it. That is one. So set up some grievance procedure. Grievance procedure in the sense you should always set up some mechanism through which employees are allowed to talk. Understood? That is one thing. Next one is to say get to the cause. First, instead of dragging the issue, always you should come to the main cause. So what it says, let's see. Yeah, it says it is necessary to focus on deep-rooted cause. Focus on deep-rooted causes. Means what is exactly the main cause? Yeah. Parties to the conflict claim to have issues, okay, but these issues are likely because some deeper attempting to resolve conflict by addressing surface issues will rarely create. So outcome of company policies, etc. So here is say explain company policies. Whenever there's a dispute or difference in the company, you must always tell them what is the company policy in this regard, because you will continue allowing those disputes if you don't find out the real reason. After finding the reason, you should communicate them, boss, okay, this is your problem, but our company policy is this, our company procedure is this, so you need to continue with this, no option at all, something like so. So you don't try to provide solution externally, you try to provide solution in a deeper picture. That is what, okay, that is one thing. Next one, if you could see, equal attention and importance. Equal attention and importance. Let's see what it says. It says it is necessary to give all parties equal voice. First thing is you have to learn this. Everybody should be given equal importance, equal opportunity to explain what problems they're actually facing. Okay, it can be tempting to take a word of the manager, it's okay, but it should be remembered that trustees also are not necessary to go beyond simply giving everyone. So it's like giving everyone equal chance to speak. The rest all normal theory only. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Yes. Awesome. What it says, if you want to solve conflicts in the organization, the first and foremost important thing is, whenever there's a meeting, whenever there's a difference of opinion, instead of only listening to lady employees, you should also listen sometimes male employees. Otherwise, lady manager listening to only male employees, lady manager should also listen to gent employees, lady employees sometimes, because ladies will not gel together, men will not gel together. Men will always favor ladies' opinions. So whenever there's a dispute or suppose if Radha is there in the meeting, Radha says, "Okay, Amma, you're perfect, Amma." If Raju says, "Hey, Raju, sit, idiot, whatever, nonsense, etc., etc." That kind of attitude, if you show to people, they will shut their mouth and they will continue having a cold war. I'm telling you. So it's not easy to be a manager. You should learn these tactics and techniques and make sure you should be neutral. If you are not neutral, wherein you give equal importance to everybody and you will listen to everybody, you will get the voice from everybody, you will allow everybody to speak and you will listen to their opinions and agreements, disagreements, then you will be able to solve the issue quickly. So we are talking about what? Solutions to avoid conflict. Next one, resolution participation. Resolution means final, involving all the parties. When drafting the resolution is necessary, so involve all the parties in decisions. Understood? Yes, awesome. Next, the same holds to conflict. There is more than one side conflict, all sides should benefit. Yeah. This is how, man, this is how you need to do. Okay, so what it says, I mean, whenever you wanted to take a final decision, if you want to take a final decision, you're not supposed to take a decision just involving few people. Like you will nicely call few people inside the cabin and you will nicely share coffee, samosa, etc., etc. Then you will take a decision. Nonsense it is. You cannot simply take a decision when there are so many parties involved in a conflict issue. You cannot simply involve few people and take a decision. You should always take a decision involving all the people. Then they will be very happy. Even if solution is not in favor, since you called them, since you listened to them, since you heard them, since you have accepted their opinion, since you have actually seen them, since you have given them an opportunity to participate in the meeting while taking decision, they're going to be quiet. And they will definitely treat you like a god. Amma, he gave us an opportunity. Of course, he told us everything, and we were not neglected, we were not ignored, we are not left behind, etc., etc. If they think in that way, definitely they will arrive at solving the issue. That's it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we are done with causes of what you call conflict resolution. Clear? Then let's go ahead simply with sixth one. Okay, next concept you see in this lesson. Next concept is conflict control and organization strategy. Simply speaking, what should be the organization strategy? So I will write here organization strategy to control conflicts. Okay, one by one, let's see. Number one, first important thing company has to do is find out the reasons for a conflict. Find out the reasons for conflict. Here, 2 bullet points if you want. Conflict happens because of people have different beliefs, etc., etc. Some people can resolve their differences without conflict. Conflict can occur between individuals, between groups. This we know. Task conflicts occur when people disagree. Yes. This you have to remember. This is very important in this point. Task conflict occur when people disagree about the facts of the situation. One more conflict you see. Interpretational conflict is this. One second, let me pull up. And we have procedural conflict. Yeah. Yeah, see here. So basically we are talking about here three types of conflicts. See, you're straight, I'm hitting the examination button only. Everybody focus on the material now. First of all, if you organization company has to focus on how to control this conflict or how to control this. So first of all, there will be three types of conflicts he is giving: task conflicts, interpersonal conflict, procedural conflict. Everybody clear? What is task? Task means activities. When people, I will say, you are supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to do. You are supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to do that. Like when people have difference of opinion and activities, you will have problem like this. Next one, interpersonal. Interpersonal in the sense they don't get along. They don't gel together. They don't move together. They don't like each other. They don't have a rapport. They don't have a bondage. They don't have a relation. They don't have any connect. They are not even cigarette groups. They are not even tea groups. They are not even movie groups. They are not even gossip groups. They are like completely different, like India Pakistan type. Understood? So task means activities. You do this, I don't do this. Interpersonal, this they don't gel together. They don't like each other. That's all. They don't like each other. Procedural conflict occurs when people share the same goals but disagree. The goals are same. One fellow says, "Ila cheddam, sir. We want to do. Sorry, we would like to do this, sir." One fellow says, "We should do like this, sir." That's no, sir. Itla cheyal, sir. No, sir. We should do like this, and no, sir. We should do like this. People will have different methodology, activities conflicts, and rapport concepts. So you need to find: is it task conflict? Then you should go and tell them, boss, this is your task. Don't interfere, idiot, on this task. You can tell them, right? If it is interpersonal, tell them, guys, if you don't gel together, if you feel jealous of each other, if you fight like ladies at 60, etc., etc., I'm telling you, you're going to be removed. Tell them like this, they will shut their mouth. They will shut everything, not only mouth. Next one, procedural concept is the methods. It says, hey, you want to do in a different way, I want to do it different way. Like account teachers will have this forward, tax teachers will have this. He say, boss, na common method is this. Follow this. You say, hey, mental fellows, you cannot have different methods. This is the method. This is the method company believe. Tell them like this. Understood? There ends the solution. Okay? Awesome. Next B point, let us see. We are studying what should be the strategy, benefits of conflicts. So organization should always remember there are some benefits of conflict. Let's see, sir, you may ask one question, sir, if there are conflicts also there are benefits. Yes, having disputes there will be a conflict. So here most people see conflict as an unpleasant situation, I know, and most companies traditionally use a strategy suppressing conflict, but this approach ignores conflicts can appear valid. If in a task conflict about the interpretation of the acts, etc., can benefit re-examining the disputes facts. That means each one separately we will start. Okay, look here. Just a second, please. So they say there is a benefit in everything, okay? I will show you what benefit. Poorly managed conflict causes companies with effective conflict management to see each other conflict opportunity to improve. See here, these 3 points, if you could see, you understand. What do you mean by task conflict? I said, task means what is my activity, what is his activity, we both are not clear. I always believe I have to do this, he always believes he has to do this. So both of us have differences in terms of conflict, in terms of task activity. So when there's a task conflict, what happens? Different people have got different ideas now here. So I can in fact take it as an advantage. I can re-examine and see the facts and whose idea is better in terms of activity. So procedural. Suppose one fellow says this is the method, one fellow says that is the method, etc., etc. So when different people have different methods in this regard, understood? So we can find out always superior ways, no? That means two people, A has a different method, B has a different method. What if A and B, both the methods can be used in a different ways? Maybe some methods more effective, or both the methods are effective, or one method is improvement of another method. So it's like a new idea, right? Therefore, whenever there's a conflict, you need to first find out, is there any new idea? If somebody is disagreeing with the existing method, if someone is disapproving existing method, he may have a better idea, no? So having new idea is a great opportunity for a company to learn from the dispute. If you and I are having differences, I'm saying one idea, you are saying one idea. What if your idea is better? What if my idea is better? What if two ideas can be implemented differently? So company should always have a strategy to use conflicts for a better advantage. When people disagree, they must have told you something different, and that something different might help company to improve operations. Understood? Yes, all right. Next, let's see less effective strategies of conflict. Less effective. So, wording you need to understand. Less effective strategies for conflict. See here, in any conflict, one can try to get one's own way completely. Can let other party prevail, can ignore problem also, can compromise also, etc. Trying to get one's own way completely only works if there is enough power to dominate. Okay, if it leaves other side, if it leaves the other side completely different. So it says, however, this strategy can be used doesn't only when one need to have a good ongoing relationship. So it means, it clearly says, in any conflict, it says in any conflict, one fellow, his idea can be implemented if he has a power to. Suppose manager employee has a conflict, so manager can implement because manager has a power to implement. No, so it depends on basically what power or relationship. So overall, I am trying to tell you here, it depends on the power and authority. Okay, that is one thing. And it depends on the relationship. If both are having equal relationship, yes, it can be implemented. Then it depends on one more thing, I'll tell you. Wait, it depends on strategy. Okay, depends on relationship, it depends on strategy. That means, when there's a difference of opinion, what is his strategy, what is my strategy? Whether my idea can be implemented or your idea can be implemented, I'll tell you. If a student and teacher both are giving ideas to principal, principal obviously will take teacher idea into consideration. Understood? And suppose if two students are giving ideas, then obviously equal footing is there. I mean authority. If a person has more authority, his idea will be implemented. So what I'm trying to tell you, there could be certain situations where the strategies ideas will be less effective. It depends on nature of strategy, it depends on relationship, it depends on power and authority. If you are more powerful in the company, your differences everybody will agree. If you are not powerful in the company, your differences may not be agreed. So instead of setting aside strategies completely, you should take into consideration of all these things. Okay, next one, effective strategies for conflict. So company should have effective strategies for conflict. Let's see here, key point. It says, if one uses this power, so always have the option of is here, imposing their authority or ignoring employee concerns. You have one strategy here. When there's a dispute, either tell them, boss, of course you have difference of opinion, you have disputes, but I'm telling you, being a company, you should follow this only. Otherwise, simply whatever they say, chal rahe bol ke, you should just keep on ignoring. If you go on ignoring, obviously employees will not bring it forth to you next time. Okay, effective managers rely on authority, only sparingly prefer so and so. So you can say effective managers based on real authority. They use authority and suppress these things. Next, when one compromises, so compromise can resolve a conflict also. So managers should make sure both the parties will have a compromise, and collaboration can result in new and coherent solutions. So here, these 4 points, if you could see, that means company should use authority and ignore employee concerns and tell them, boss, you have differences, but I'm telling you this is how you're supposed to do. You cannot have differences. Second thing, managers can use authority and say, I am telling you, you follow this nonsense. Don't tell me this is best, that is best. Another thing is, you both of you, I agree, A is good, B is good, but from the cost point of view, from the revenue point of view, from the quality point of view, from the company point of view. This is better बोल के make them compromise on their differences. That is one. Manager should be very tactic, very communicative in nature, very powerful in nature, and try to convince them. That is one thing. And collaboration, you should say, okay boss, ideas are different, very nice, but you guys are supposed to collaborate, cooperate with each other so that we will have creative solutions. Okay, you can do. So it is up to managers what kind of solutions you will find out. Is basically use your authority, try to make them compromise, try to collaborate, etc. In this way you can definitely find out a solution for conflicts. Everybody clear? Yes, yes. This causes for interpersonal, and this one I'll cover it in the next class. So until then, please make sure that you go through this and understand what exactly is the conflict and what are the causes. All right. Have a good day. Take care. Thank you so much.